On April 6, Governor LePage signed a bill to spend at least $300,000 of taxpayer money to fund a financial feasibility study for the proposed East-West Highway, a private venture. The East-West Corridor is a 200-mile project from Calais to Coben Gore. The right-of-way would be 2,000 feet or a half a mile wide. As proposed, it would be a limited-access, gated toll highway for double tractor-trailer trucks and a super corridor for gas and Canadian tar sands pipelines and transmission lines. This pie-in-the-sky vision of economic stability and prosperity for Maine is spearheaded by Peter Vigue, CEO of the Chinbro Corporation, which stands to make millions on this project. Proponents argue this could create several hundred jobs and increase Maine's access to global markets. Opponents argue that an east-west corridor would not only threaten our wilderness and endanger our natural resources, it will destroy farming in central Maine, it will compromise our culture, and further the exploitation, domination, and extraction of our natural resources. On May 31st, close to 700 people gathered to hear Vigue's presentation in the Foxcroft Academy Gymnasium in Dover, Foxcroft, Maine. Prior to his presentation, over 100 people clad in hunter orange staged a protest in opposition to the proposed corridor. This is part one of my coverage of this important event. Part two will cover Vigue's presentation and the large crowd's reactions.
Of what life will be like on our farm after the highway goes through, if it goes through. This song is called Time Wars. It's a great sing-along song in the middle. All you have to do is sing Time Wars with us. Time was, I could look out over this forest. I could watch a whitetail playing tag. I could hear the ravens chorus. But that was many years ago, before the East-West Highway went through. Now I wake up to the lonely sounds of the truckers hauling through. Time was, there was a peace upon this forest. Time was, there was a freshness in the air. Time was, you could live the way you wanted. Time was, you could find your solace there. My family's worked this land since 1851, till the soil and sowed our seeds beneath the blazing sun. We once broken-hearted as that highway come around. Like a giant asphalt canyon, it cut our farm in two. Time was, there was a peace upon this forest. Time was, there was a freshness in the air. Time was, you could live the way you wanted. Time was, you could find your solace there. It's been more than 20 years since that highway come around. The deer don't come around no more since they cut the cedars down. But I guess it's good for business, or at least that's what they say. 'Cause they loaded up my paradise and hauled it all away. Time was, there was a peace upon this forest. Time was, there was a freshness in the air. Time was, you could live the way you wanted. Time was, you could find your solace there. Time was, time was, time was, time was.
My name is Chris Buchanan. I'm going to MC the public soapbox. Everybody who wants to speak, please come on up. We're going to do 3 minutes per person. please share your thoughts about the project. Thank you.
Charlie MacArthur from the area. I'm wearing noise-canceling earphones today. They're really great because you can hear loons, but you can't hear diesels. It'll cut out the sound of gunfire even. And I don't think we need that. At any rate, these may be what Mainers wear in the summer for recreational gear, the same way that people in Florida wear sunglasses. You have to protect yourself from the environment. And didn't need to be that way, but it looks like they're trying like hell to make it that way.
Hello, my name is David Lee Finley, and I was born at the Mayo Hospital just down the street. That was 1946. I graduated from Foxcroft Academy in 1965. I am now retired and living right here in my hometown. You can learn a lot by listening to what's not being said about this private road building enterprise. Myself, I'm concerned about the wetlands and the headwaters of most of our state's rivers. I'm concerned about living life the way it should be, just how the welcome sign says when you come into the state. I care deeply about our mountains, forests, lakes, and streams. I can throw a baseball from my front yard into the Piscataquis River. I live right down here in the village. Most people of Maine feel the same way. All along this proposed corridor, people are not in the same zip code, but most of us all share the same area codes. The forest out past Shirley, just north of here, and much of God's country, just north of Sebec Lake, have all been clear-cut. Those forests will not recover in my lifetime. Questions. Why does this private joint venture have to have mineral rights? Why do bottling companies want the rights of pure Maine water for exporting to other countries? The Far East needs wood products. Well, we have a wood mill right here in Dover-Foxcroft, but most of their material go down I-95 to the eastern seaboard. It's for new home construction and hurricane preparedness, just to name a few things. Why do oil companies want to frack the land and refine oil for exporting? Don't we want to support our own future energy needs? We are painted as the sentimental environmental extremists out here in the hollow middle on the road to nowhere. Well, that's not me. We are just people tending our farms and gardens, going to work where we can find it, and we don't want our way of life to be wiped out by one giant footstep. We really like being known as vacation land. Big business is planning to cut across the Appalachian Trail. Really? The Appalachian Trail? It's very hard to look at this and not see how the dots begin to connect.
15 seconds.
Not see who benefits. Big benefits. And big business benefits, not Maine. Thank you.
My name's Gene Ripley. I live and farm right here in Dover, down about 3/4 of a mile from Maycomer's Corner, which 2 weeks ago Peter Vigu named as the site in Dover where this corridor will cross through. And I'm here today because I want to ask Senator Thomas, what measures is the state taking to ensure that farmland is not destroyed by this project? How are they evaluating the impact that this project will have on our farmland here in central Maine, an agricultural region? Because every farmer that I've talked to in central Maine is scared to death by this project. We're scared of losing our farmland, and not just our homes and our land, but as land-based workers, we lose our livelihoods as well. We lose almost everything we have other than our lives. As one dairy farmer in Charleston said to me recently, this project, if it goes through, will change the face of farming in central Maine forever. We don't want this project going through our farms, we don't want it through our towns, and we don't want it through our state. Thank you.
I'm Carol Sterling. Lived here all my life except for the 2 years when we lived in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. But my parents were Milo people. We don't need another highway, and that's all I have to say about it right now. We just don't need it. We're working towards rail and self-sufficiency. And
I'm Jim Loomis. I live in Cambridge. The question is, what is Maine's commitment to New Brunswick? Vigu has told some Canadians that Maine is committed to New Brunswick to build an east-west highway corridor through Maine. The east-west corridor will give eastern Canada not just truck access, but utilities and communications to Quebec and the West. He did not tell us in Dover-Foxcroft on the 15th that we were beholden for all that stuff and an east-west corridor. Thank you.
Visit vacation land sign down, beginning in the state of Maine. And if there's much freight that needs to be transported from Canada back into Canada across the state of Maine, well, my big question is, why is the CP Railroad, which is Canadian-American Maine Railroad, why is that only operating 3 days a week if we have so much freight going that needs to be hauled across the state of Maine? And I guess that's...
Good question.
I'm Leslie Furno. I live here in Dover-Foxcroft. I'm a transplant, but I've been here for 33 years. I'm here because I think we fundamentally have to change the way we look at economy. And we're being told that this new corridor is going to produce an enormous new burgeoning economy in Maine. And I think you out there and I know that that's not going to happen. That the vision of the economy of the economists and the corporate executives is very different. It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable for the future. It's not working now. It's failing. What we are doing now is failing.
Time was, you could find your solace there.